Okay. Is it live?
Yes, I can see live on LV.
Yay.
Hi,
Okay.
hi.
Hi. Hello, parents. This is Coach John here from Learning Out of the Box. And thank you so much for being here. I hope that you had a good holiday. Yeah, so today, as you know, this week is I think many children are sitting for their papers. Some of them could have completed their science paper. Some of them may still need help for their science papers. So nonetheless, our intention is always to support you so that you can be a better supporter for your child. We still we still go ahead with today's science sharing on how your child can score higher for PSLE science. So today, once again, we have Teacher Lup Wai. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for being here. And I know that your second child is also having her mid-year. Yeah, so tomorrow is a paper. So you join us so that you can help more kids. And later you got to rush back.
Yeah, the motherhood or parenthood that we have to go through. Thanks for inviting me and allowing me to help other students as well in their science.
Yeah. So today we are going to talk about tables and charts in science OEQ questions. And the reason is because I think, at least in my own experience, when my kids see that big chunk of information, she finds it overwhelming to digest them, as well as they do get lost as well. Yeah. So do tell us more. Why is the topic that you're going to cover today so important?
All right. I find that a lot of students, even for my students, right, when they come and join me, the first thing that they struggle with is the tables and charts because it looks very scary. It looks like a huge ton of information there, which they do not know how to break it down or how to digest it or how to relate the question to the tables and charts. So they also find that with tables, there are so many rows of the information, they do not know how to relate them and how to read them. Same thing for the chart as well. So how do I read the chart? How do I understand the chart so that I can answer the question?
Awesome. Yeah, I agree with you totally. When my child asked me to help her with her science questions, and when I look at the question with so much information, so much story, so much information, so many numbers, and I'm just wondering that it actually can be very daunting for a child to complete all these tasks within 5 minutes and expected to score well or get all correct. Well, I think it's like a tall order for many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so today we are going to use this very simple FRI 3-step method. Okay, why FRI? So parents, please take out a piece of paper. Yeah, so if your child finds it challenging to look at, to process those tables and charts in science OEQ questions, I hope that you can take out a piece of paper right now and then just write down whatever you think that can help you, yeah, and your child. So we are going to go by this framework called FRI. Okay, F stands for friends. Yeah, so later Teacher Lup Wai will tell you why friends. Yeah. So R will be relate. Yeah, R will be relate. Then I will be infer. Yeah, infer from what? I will leave it to the expert to tell you later. And why FRI? To me, is something that is fun, and I think it stands for Friday as well. And everyone looks forward to Friday because it's the night that we can all chill and it's the end of the week. Yeah, that's why we have TGIF, right? Like why?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so over to you.
All right, thank you, John. And hi, everybody, and all the parents here. If your students or if your child is with you, you can also ask them to join us as well and have a look at what this FRI means. So as Coach John has mentioned, F means friends, making friends with them, making the relationship with them, building the relationship with them, and how to infer. So let's take a look at the question that I'm going to do today. I'm going to work on one question on energy conversion. So I'll be
Parents,
sharing.
if you are here while Teacher Lup Wai is sharing the screen, if you are here, just drop a yes so that we know that that you are here, and so we can we're able to engage you as well. Yeah, because I think from past experience, parents who participate more, they actually benefit more. Yeah, so drop a yes if you are here, so we know you are here.
Yes. All right. So over here, you can see the questions about where you see the picture, and at the same time, you also see the table. So this is what I mean when a lot of students find that table and pictures and words, everything lumped together, it's pretty scary, especially when there is a table or a chart. Because they see a lot of information here, and how do I have time to digest them and how to answer them and relating it to the question. So let's take a look at this question and we will try to solve it step by step. So Jack prepared the setup shown. So observe the picture here. So the pictures are there for you to see and of course to observe. And one of the criteria in science is to be very observant. So he used the same iron cube and stretched the rubber band to different distances. He recorded the distance traveled by the cube on the surface of the table each time the rubber was released. So as you can see, there are two columns, all right, and there are a number of rows here. So the first column is that the distance that the rubber band was stretched back. And they give you the information here, how much being stretched back. All right, and the distance traveled by the iron cube. So when I release, how far can the iron cube travel? So over here, they need to visualize or understand the number belongs to what. All right, how much is being stretched and how much the iron cube move. So they need to understand and relate them first. Then the next question is, they will ask you to fill in the blanks to show the main energy conversion that occurred. So before they refer to the table here, they ask you what are the energy being transferred from one to another. So as most of your child will have know that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it is being transferred from one form to another. So the basic idea of this energy is how do they transfer from one to another? First thing, energy in the stretched rubber band. Second, energy in the moving rubber band. And the third is the energy in the moving iron cube. So if you are here and like you're trying to help with your child or your child is with you, maybe you can get them to try and answer this question. You can type in the chat, type in the comment, right? What is the three energy conversion over here? Right, we can give you a short time.
So parents, type into the comment box in the Facebook, what is the energy? And again, if your child finds that it's overwhelming, I mean, this is the reason why we pointed out that it could be a floodgate of information for a young child. Yeah, you may want to process it and break it into like parts. So first of all, just tell your child, okay, first part, you have a picture. While it contains a lot of information, then you continue to move on to the story, which start off with he used. Yeah. Sorry, I think I'm going to lose my voice because I've been teaching my child maths the whole day. Yeah, because she got paper tomorrow. Or both my daughters have papers tomorrow. Okay, yeah. Then the third part, so acknowledge the first two things, pictures, then story, then the tables. Yeah, so really guide your child step by step. Now, don't just throw the paper to your child and say, hey, now this is the whole paper, go and read it. I think I will be lost if I'm a child.
Yeah, same for me. So the first thing is, you may have seen a lot of information here, but we need to stay calm and tell our child to answer step by step and one by one, right? So there are always a lot of few different parts of the questions. So it is A, B, C here, as you can see. Don't panic. Look at the first question first, fill in the blank for the first question. All right, so now just focus on the first question first. Did they ask you a question relating to the table yet? Not yet. So focus on what is being asked here, energy conversion. So focus on what kind of energy do you place for each line here. Okay, so from here, you know that energy in the stretched rubber band. So what's the focus over here? So the focus over here will be the stretched rubber band. So from this stretched rubber band, you know that what kind of energy do they have? Right, that is the elastic potential energy. How do I know? A lot of students will know that whenever they see spring, they see rubber band, they know that it's elastic potential energy. So this is pretty straightforward for a lot of kids here. All right. Now, the next thing is, what does it convert to when the rubber band moves? Now, as you can see, moving is what? It refers to motion. So whenever it comes to motion, when you tell the kids about motion, something moving, they will know that it's kinetic energy, right? So the next conversion is, what kind of energy does the ion cube have? Now, you can see the word moving again, right? Over here, another motion, right? With motion, you also know that is kinetic energy. So from elastic potential energy is converted to kinetic energy and converted to kinetic energy again, because both of these are moving objects. All right, so I hope this one is clear. This is pretty straightforward. All right, now the next question is, now they are looking at the table now. How do I know? State the relationship between the distance the rubber band was stretched back and the distance traveled by the ion cube. So you take a look at these two lines that I have underlined. Very similar to here, right? Distance that the rubber band was stretched back and the distance traveled by the ion cube. Right. What I always tell my student is, you always use the same words as they use here. All right. As you can see, it's the same. And when you answer, you just need to use the same words to answer them. So you don't have to feel lost of how do I structure the answer? What kind of word do I use? How do I phrase it? Okay, relationship is pretty straightforward. Use back the same words. And now the next thing is you need to find the relationship between these two columns. What is these two columns have? What kind of relationship do they have? Now they have numbers here. Right, what do you see from the numbers? From one row to another. Do you see them increase or decrease? So this is a little bit of math. So from here, you can see that it's increasing, right? 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's getting more and more, number getting bigger and bigger, is increasing. Right? How about here? 6 to 12, 12 to 17. Right, 17 to 21, 21 to 25. What do you see? Same thing here, is increasing. So you can see the relationship between them. When the number go bigger here, the other side also go bigger, becoming bigger number. Right? So you can see that number is increasing and here is also increasing. So how do I answer based on the relationship? Now you know that where the rubber band was stretched back, the distance increased, the distance traveled by ion cube also increased. So now you can see the relationship between them. One side increased, the other side also increased, right? So when you answer, there's a template for this relationship. Usually they will put S, right? S, the distance the rubber band was stretched back. As you can see, I'm using back the same words used in the question here. All right. Increases. As they increases, right? What happened to the other column? The distance traveled by the ion cube increases. So when one side increases, the other side also increases. So do you see that the two important words here? What happens to the relationship between them? Both increase, same as increase, increase. All right, this is how you answer the relationship question. If this side is decreasing, you just answer as this is increasing, this decrease. All right, so this, which is why you just need to refer to the table, understand the table, refer to them, relate to them, understand how they connect to each other, and analyze from there. All right.
Okay, so to summarize for parents who just join us, okay, so we are going through a FRI framework, which is F for friend. And the reason why we mention friend is because we really want the students to see the tables and charts as friends rather than as enemies. Yeah, and the reason is because even for my own parenting experience, when my child sees a lot of information like numbers, tables, charts, it scares them. Yeah, it scares her. Yeah, so I always told her that, hey, you got to see as your friend, because these tables and charts have lots of information and they are all here to help you, just like how your friend actually will help you when you're in danger. Then R is to relate. How do you see all of them as an ecosystem? How do you relate them together such that they are able to help you to answer the question, which is the end goal? Yeah. And of course, Teacher Lup Wai also mentioned about the infer. It's either you have increasing or decreasing. I mean, this is what I realized as well. One will go down or up, the other one will go down or up. Yeah. So again, there's a framework. So if you're not sure what is that, you can do a replay of this and then remember to take out the framework, which will help you to answer the question properly as well.
Yes, thank you, John, for explaining. Yep, so I hope this one gives you a clearer idea on how to guide your child on answering this type of questions and how to make friends with the table and charts. Now, the next part is without adding or removing any materials. So you're not supposed to add or remove anything. Suggest how one way to make the iron cube travel a further distance on the surface of the wooden table when the distance that the rubber band was stretched back to 12 cm. Right, there's a little bit of typo here. Now to 12 cm, how can I increase the distance traveled? So looking at the picture again, I am not supposed to add anything or remove anything. Whatever is there, I have to remain. The thing is, I can change something there. Okay, so what can I change? Students may tell me that, okay, you want to stretch further or you want to change the cube, right? As they can say, they really say you're not supposed to remove anything, not supposed to add anything. So a lot of them will feel stuck. What else can I do if I cannot add, cannot change? I mean, cannot add, cannot remove. All right, and also they have already mentioned that it's stretched back to 12 cm. You can't stretch any further. Right, they only want 12 cm. But with that 12 cm, I want to travel further. How can I change this number? No adding, no removing. Now, looking at the picture, do you observe anything that is special? Anyone can tell me what can you observe from here?
Sorry, you're asking what is special? Wow.
Yeah.
To me, it's like quite tough.
Especially when time is tight, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what is there in the picture that I can do to change the distance the iron cube can travel, right? From here to here, that means I let go, it slide up further. What can I do such that it can be traveled further, but I don't need to add anything. I don't need to remove anything.
Okay, why I interrupt is because I also want to exhibit the behavior, like what if I'm really lost and then under time pressure, and imagine this is the last question, 1 more minute to finish up, and before before we have to like drop the pen, right? Yeah, and they're very strict about it. Yeah, so what can I remove? So what can I not
remove,
remove, right?
no removal, no adding of the stuff. What can I do? A lot of students answer for this one is they stretch further back. But the thing is, the question is saying that you can only stretch with 12 cm. You still stick to the 12 cm, but I need to change this number here.
Okay. Probably I can just share my thought process. Okay, I think mine will be a good example because I'm not trained to teach OEQ, yeah, which is why I invited Teacher Lup Wai to come in as well. Yeah, so how I think and I process as an engineer, yeah, which is my major, is I look at what are the things that are not covered, what are the things that are not mentioned, but they are in the picture. So the teachers put them in the picture for a reason, right? Yeah. So what is not mentioned? Because just now what was mentioned about was the pulling of the
rubber band.
Rubber band, then the iron cube, then I can see the hand, I can see the wooden table, I can see the distance that the rubber band was stretched back. But not much was mentioned about the hole, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So parents, why I'm saying this is because I'm not trained in doing this, and probably I may even fail my science. Yeah. Considering nowadays the standards are quite high. Yeah. But my process is still the same. Even how I teach my children to troubleshoot. That thing inside the picture is created there for a reason, for you to use them. Yeah. So I hope that helps. Okay, back to you. Yeah. So do I pass or not?
Coach John is very observant. Yes, that's true. So the thing about here that it wasn't mentioned, right, is the hole. Nothing was mentioned about the hole. But do you realize that there are two holes here? So in actual fact, you can put this pack further into this hole.
Or can
so
shift the iron pack.
stretching. Yes, you can change, but they say there's no adding, no removal. But they didn't mention they cannot change anything. All right, so I can still shift the iron pack to the other hole. So which means the elastic is very tight, right? So when I stretch, I need to have more energy to stretch that rubber band. And then more energy will be converted to the kinetic energy. All right. Yep. As you can see, Coach John mentioned that, all right, he may not be up to date with the science syllabus, right? But with the observation, they give you a picture for a reason, right? Observe what is here that is not mentioned, or observe what you can see here that is unique, that you didn't really realize, right? But of course, sometimes when it's super tight in time, you just cannot see that hole there. So I just always remind the students to be calm. I mean, it's not easy, but try to, so that you can really observe what is right in front of you. Right? Even in our daily life, sometimes we just don't see what's in front of us when we are busy in life. So very similar to how the student encounter all these questions as well. All right, so yes, a whole. So all you need to do is to answer that question, because it didn't ask you to state anything. They didn't ask you to explain anything. They just ask you, how can I move the iron cube further? So all you need to do is very straightforward answer, is to shift the iron pack. All right, to another hole. All right, such that the iron pack are further apart. Right. So this is how you answer the first part of this. Okay. Now they didn't ask you any other information. They just asked you, how can I improve the distance traveled by the iron cube? So what you need to do is just answer how you would do, or what you would do to allow the iron pack to move further. I mean, not iron pack, iron cube. All right, so all you need to answer is that shift the iron pack to another hole such that the iron packs are further apart. So this is how you describe what you need to do, and that will give you the right answer.
Something that I realized from answering science OEQ questions, doesn't matter whether they have tables or charts. I think the other thing that really blew me away is the need for having a sharp mind with a sharp pair of eyes. Yeah, and I think it's something that we can't get out from just buying off from assessment books or reading the textbook. Yes, and Lup Wai, I know that you have two children and they actually love science. Not like that, they love science. So as a mother, during your normal days, how do you get your child, or how do you actually sharpen their skills?
I think the most basic thing that I do with them is I always tell them to observe. Right, you may not know how to understand, how to explain or whatsoever, but at least try to observe what is going on around you. And this observation is a very fundamental skills that all of us need to have. Right, no matter is you're answering questions or not, or whatever you do, even you're going out, be observant with the things around you so that you know how to react when things happen. So same thing as for these like papers, exam papers, observe what is written there, observe the paper, the pictures, and understand how to react to these questions based on the observation you have. So it's also a life skill that you need to have as well.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that, because I realized that as a parent who teaches other kids and also who teach my own kids, I realized that while we know that the tutor can do a fantastic job in building up the child's content, but I realized that as a parent myself, we also got some homework to do, which is, and it's also to be done on a daily basis, and that's really to sharpen our children's curiosity, sharpen their process skills, sharpen their urge to ask questions, and I think not many people may agree with that as well, because when I think the mindset when we engage a tutor is that we expect them to do everything, but I feel that as a parent we can definitely work with the tutor by getting our children to be engaged on a daily basis. And this is something that only parents can do. You can talk to them over the meals, talk to them while you're driving them from home to school or from school to home, or you can talk to them while walking with them down the streets to buy your coffee or your tea. Yeah, and I think it's something that's quite interesting that I found out ever since my daughter, my eldest one, is taking her PSLE this year. Yeah. So having said that, what will be your key takeaway for parents from this question? I mean, on top of just the content.
That's the main thing for this, right, is the observation that we have been talking about as well. So observation is what you need to have, the skills you need to have in order to answer questions, not only for science, even for math and English. So observe what the question is asking, observe pictures, whatever is given to you, and try to understand why do they give these certain things for you in the paper, right? It's like very similar to your life as well. Observe why things happen in a certain way. And science is about curiosity, like what you mentioned. And with that curiosity, you notice that when you're curious, you try to observe more. And when you're observing more, you try to learn more. And that's how you gain your knowledge.
That's why yes, the observation part will be very important as well, because I think the kids really need to learn that. Yeah. So parents, that's the reason why we continue to do our Facebook Live. Even though because of Facebook algorithm, the number of views is getting low. But I know that we have parents texting us that they really appreciate that, and they realize from our sharing that, oh, they didn't know that they need to engage their kids on a daily basis, such that they are able to help the child and work with the teachers to help the child to score better. Yeah, so this is why we continue to do what we do. Yeah. So parents, if you like what we are doing and you feel that our sharing is more than just content sharing, we also share about how we parents can be better supported and can help our child to have more life skills rather than just grade chasing skills. Yeah, do help us to share the video out so that more parents can benefit as well. Okay, so some parents are asking if they can get help from us on science. Yeah, but you're not very sure whether the June holiday workshop is a good fit for your child. Yeah, so what I will do is I've spoken to Teacher Lup Wai, and she has allowed us to put her phone number in the comments, as in the description of this Facebook post. You can just click on the link, and then you'll be sent. You'll create a message in your WhatsApp that is being directed to her number. Yeah, so do check in with her if you have some specific questions on how you can help your child. And the reason why I brought Teacher Lup Wai on board is because she's also a mother of 2 kids, and I think being parents, we can better relate to your situation, yeah, and not just give you any fluff like, oh, you should do this or that, not knowing and knowing that it is actually beyond your time or bandwidth. Yeah, and then we have a PSLE June booster program done by Teacher Lup Wai in June. So if you're keen, you can click on the link in the Facebook post as well. And if you're not sure whether it will benefit your child, do just drop her a message. Yeah, at 9365 7227, 9365 7227. Okay. Okay, any thing you want to share before we wrap up or before we end off?
Yeah. Good luck to everyone who's all the students who are still having their exam this week. And after that, they can have a good break during the June holiday, and not forgetting to continue observing your surroundings and everything around you. And be curious.
Yeah, be curious. Yeah, it's a lifelong journey, parents. Yeah, as I told my kid, yes, I hope that you do well for your PSLE. At the same time, don't forget, it's just part of the journey, and then continue to build on your lifelong skills. Yeah, it's an ongoing journey. Learning is forever.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, take care, parents. See you tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be bringing back Teacher Felicia to be sharing with us more on the English oral, and it will happen at 8 p.m. Yeah, 8 p.m. And the reason why we do this is because English oral, in my opinion, is the easiest to score. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, so we'll hear more from her. Okay, take care. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye.